Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días, hoy es martes el 8 de diciembre y aquí tienen el horario para hoy. La pregunta para empezar la clase, ¿a qué hora te despiertas? What time do you guys wake up in the morning? Típicamente, normalmente. Por ejemplo, yo me despierto a las 5:30 de la mañana, Típicamente me despierto a las 5:30 de la mañana. ¿A qué hora se despiertan ustedes? Is the key question for today. We're going to go over the grammar of reflexive verbs. All these key vocabulary terms that we've looked at thus far this past week, and we'll continue to look at this week. Verbs like despertarse in the yo form me despierto, what you're using for your warm-up. Ducharse, me ducho in the yo form. This is the verb to take a shower. Cepillarse los dientes, me cepillo los dientes in the yo form to brush your teeth, etc. That's key vocabulary on pages 74 and 75. So while we've looked at the we've looked at the vocabulary for the past few classes. We've done some practice looking at the video, some comprehension questions with that. We did some vocabulario in uso, ¿cierto? Utilizing the vocabulary. You guys created a Venn diagram last week where you guys put these in context, talking about the time of day that you do them. So now we're going to formally look at the grammar of reflexive verbs. All of these verbs, key verbs for this chapter, are reflexive because we're talking about things that we do to or for ourselves, right? Reflexive actions are reflexive because the person doing the action receives the action. That's why we call it reflexive. You're brushing your own teeth, right? You're combing your own hair. You're washing or bathing yourself, getting yourself up, waking yourself up. All of them are reflexive because you're the doer and the receiver of the action. That's what it means to be reflexive. So you can see the endings of reflexive verbs are the same as regular verbs, right? O, as, a, amos, an, right? Present tense endings for AR verbs. You can see the only difference is a reflexive pronoun is used at the very beginning to indicate that these are actions being done reflexively, right? Me in the yo form, te in the tu form, se in the el, ella, usted, and also the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. Se is used for both. And then for nosotros, it would be nos. That's the only new concept, right? Endings of these verbs are the same. Nothing new. What's new are these reflexive pronouns that you guys can study and practice. We're going to do the guided practice, exercise 8, where you fill in the blank with the correct reflexive pronoun, right? Fill in the blank with either me, te, se, nos, or se based upon the subject, right? Whether it's yo or tu or nosotros. So exercise 8 we'll do together. We're going to do exercise 10, which demonstrates that the verbs that we've looked at can be reflexive, right? That you're doing it for yourself, like me despierto, you're waking yourself up. So the verb despertarse can be reflexive or it can be non-reflexive when the action is being done to or for someone else, right? Not reflexively, but for someone else. Like the example here, despierto a mi hermanito a las 7:05. Notice there's no reflexive pronoun there because we're not waking ourselves up, we're waking up somebody else in this case. So reflexive when it's done to or for yourself, non-reflexive, no reflexive pronoun when the action is being done for someone else's benefit. So that's exercise 10 we'll practice. Then we're going to finish off with exercise 11, where you guys are going to go ahead and start formalizing your project that you guys are going to do. ¿Cómo es tu horario típico? ¿Cierto? What's a typical daily routine for you? Here you have some verbs that you will undoubtedly use for your project. You're going to conjugate them in the yo form, and then you're going to indicate the time and time of day. So this is essentially your rough draft for your project. You're going to knock out the rest of it tonight and tomorrow, and turn it in by the next time I see you guys. I know it's a bit daunting, maybe a little bit short on time, but you're going to thank me because next week when we normally would have finals, we're going to keep it open for makeup work, and you guys will have everything down and done in advance. So we'll talk about your project in greater detail as well in class. Essentially your daily routine and 20 parts to it. But essentially your rough draft is this, right? This is what your project's going to look like in terms of the Spanish portion. And whether you want to do a video of you doing your daily routine or a PowerPoint with pictures to 20 parts to your daily routine is really up to you. You can review that document there, and it'll talk about the different options and how to go about them. But regardless of the option, 20 parts to your daily routine and to document that, right? So that is your agenda, guys, for martes, el 8 de diciembre, and your only homework is to work on that project. Adios.